All right, time now to turn our attention to the women. And today we are going to talk about the Drake Bulldogs. Allison Pullman's bunch, 22-12 a season ago, 15-5 in the Missouri Valley. Their run getting to the NCAA tournament came to a close. They lost in the tournament semifinals to eventual champion Murray State. I watched a lot of basketball last year. I don't know how many better games I saw than 96-90. Katie Dinnebeer just going bananas in the semifinals, trying to extend her Missouri Valley career, but coming up short and then falling to Marquette in the opening round of the WBIT 74-69. And it is now a year of transition and change for this Drake program. And it's time now to welcome in the radio voice of the Drake women's basketball program. He is Hunter Phillips. Hunter, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Jeff. It's officially October, which means that we're going to have basketball here later on in the month. We have Drake Hoops Fest coming up tomorrow. And so whenever I get that text, that message from you to join Morning in the Valley, we know that basketball is on the horizon. So thanks for having me.
Happy to have you. Excited to be in October. Feels like we've been just biding time here the last couple of months, but it's ready to roll. All right. I guess the first question I've started with everybody, just looking back at last year, and again, just the end of an era in a lot of ways to lose a Katie Dinnebeer and an Anna Miller and a Courtney Becker, and for all they've done and all they'd accomplished. I imagine that the bitter sweetness at the end of a great year stung a little bit more, just knowing that chapter of Drake women's basketball was closing.
Yeah, Jeff, it did to a certain degree, because you just felt that even though things kind of slipped away there in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament, that they possibly could have had a decent run in the WBIT, especially playing their first game at home. But it wasn't meant to be. But at least they got to play their final game at the Knapp Center. I mean, there's no such thing as moral victories, right? But it was just for them to be able to close out in any kind of a postseason tournament. I think just said a lot about that group and each and every one of them now, what they're doing. Beyond their basketball careers, all in the medical field. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. Katie's still on campus, finishing up her pharmacy studies, but Courtney Becker, she's already doing things, with her doctorate, and then Ashley Imes, part of that senior class. She's going to be a podiatrist, and then Anna Miller's in medical school. So I think that's just what this program is all about, being able to not only excel on the court, but then be able to get yourself in position and off the court. And so all the winning and all the things that they were able to accomplish, I think it just sets them up for great success, moving forward.
Student, very underlined, highlighted, circled, and all that with Allison Pullman's program, which is awesome.
Yes.
How did she retain everybody? To lose one kid out of the portal, which, I mean, in this day and age, to just lose one, I mean, you just feel like you pencil in three, no matter what the team is across the country, and sometimes it's a lot worse than that. But to only lose one, how has she done that? How has she built a culture of retention there in Des Moines?
Well, Jeff, it's great timing on our part, because I actually had coffee with Coach Pullman yesterday, and it's in this ever-changing landscape of college basketball, it's been one of the rarities for Drake that they have actually brought in more players than they've actually lost. And so I think there's the twofold of it. I mean, going back to the academic side of it, for a lot of these young women that come to Drake, it really is the study portion that is going to keep them bounded here. But there's just a unique togetherness about this, and Allison does a great job of not putting too much pressure on these players when they come in, and everyone gets an opportunity, right? And I think that is the biggest thing, because sometimes when a player doesn't feel like their voice is heard, or they feel like they're not put in a position to succeed on the court, that's where they want to go somewhere else to be able to shine a little bit. And so I think the unique thing, and what we'll see this year with this team, is that there are going to be multiple players that are going to be given opportunities. They're going to be given the green light to show what they're made of. And so, all these players, they're pretty much, they're very, very comfortable. They played like AAU basketball together. So it's almost just like a family. So I think that there are a lot, a couple of reasons, big reasons there why Allison's been able to retain most of the players during this crazy, era of the transfer portal.
The departures are significant, obviously. Katie Dinnebeer, Anna Miller, Courtney Becker, all double-digit scores. Becker 10.5, Miller, at 6'3", two-time defensive player of the year, averaging 14 a game. And then, I feel like every time you start looking for new ways to explain how good Katie Dinnebeer was, I shocked myself that this morning when I said since 1982, a player has averaged a women's player has averaged 23.4 points and 7.2 assists 4 times since 1982, and it's happened in each of the last 4 seasons. Last year it was Katie Dinnebeer. The 3 prior seasons it was Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark. I mean, that is the highest of pedestals you can place Katie Dinnebeer on. I don't want to take anything away from Anna Miller and Courtney Becker and the impact that they had on winning and that program, but this is an all-timer that Allison Pullman had to walk away and go off to do awesome things, be in pharmaceutical, all that pharmacy stuff. But what kind of just void? And we talked about Titan Anderson with JW a couple minutes ago, but what
Right.
void is this going to leave out of this program with somebody that she gets off the bus? She just looks like she could be your pharmacist, and she puts on a uniform and she will gut you and go nuts.
I don't think there are really enough words really to describe Katie and her overall impact. And no doubt, when you watch this team this year, you're going to be looking around. Where's number 10? Where's Katie? I mean, because she has just been such a mainstay. And so, the other week on our Be Blue podcast had Ava Hawthorne on, one of the returners, and really she wants to just carry on really that legacy that Katie and the rest of the seniors left. But for Katie, to me, I mean, I remember watching her in high school, and I know back in our earlier conversation, Jeff, that she was in the same senior class that Tucker DeVries was for Waukee High School, and they both won state championships. And the way that, I mean, she just lit up Johnston, who's a really good program here in Central Iowa, in the championship game. And here we are at Drake. We're like, man, yeah, this is just the beginning here. But the way that she was able to impact the game defensively, just to really set the tone, I think that she was really someone that Allison relied on to just be that leader, and to just never. I mean, going back to that classic game there in Evansville in the MVC tournament against Murray State. I mean, when you have two of the best scorers in Valley history, with Caitlin Young and with Katie Dinnebeer, just the will, I mean, there, as long as there was time on the clock, like she was going to give it her all. And so, man, she's, like you said, off the court, she's giggling, laughing. I mean, you just, don't let that smile fool you, because she is certainly someone that can make things happen. And I can't announce anything yet, but we're going to hear more from Katie on things here at Drake with our basketball program. She's always going to be a part of the program, but on possibly, hear the word here, that we'll hear from Katie this season for sure. So no, she's just one of a kind. And man, yeah, it's going to be really, really different watching Drake basketball without Katie Dinnebeer on the floor.
How long until number 10's hanging from the roof of the Knapp Center? Is there a protocol? Do we have to wait so many years before she goes up there?
I mean, if it were up to me, it would be up at the home opener, no doubt about it. But I don't make the rules for it. Okay, there's a few other players that need to be up there as well. Becca Hittner, who's on the staff, Lizzie Wendell. There's a number of them, and that's just how fortunate we've been, here at Drake, to just see some really, really good players.
You mentioned Ava Hawthorne, the two top returners, Abby Alsma and Ava Hawthorne, the two seniors. It's a young team now. 4 freshmen, 4 sophomores, 2 juniors, 3 seniors, sort of flipping it back the other direction. But again, with those 3 graduating seniors that carried so much of the offensive load, and look, Abby averaged almost 10 points a game last year, but now it's, there's going to be more on her shoulders as well as Ava Hawthorne's. Are they ready, and are they prepared to carry more of that burden?
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, specifically 62% of the scoring from last season is gone. So Abby Alsma certainly is going to be one of those players that, look, she's going to have to be more of not just maybe was kind of pigeonholed as a 3-point shooter. That's what she was at Illinois State, and a good perimeter defender, but she's going to have a bigger role as a point guard. I mean, I think it's going to be really kind of a rotating spot coming up this season, but I think that she's certainly she's well experienced and she knows what it takes to be able to compete at a high level. So excited about her. And like I mentioned earlier, having a chance to chat with Ava Hawthorne, she's really confident, ready to go for this year. She's someone that I think early on last year, confidence, was kind of an issue, but then she was able to build off of that. Shannon Fornshell, another one of those players who I think has a really good opportunity to average, close to, I mean, she can average double figures a game and almost, probably 8 rebounds a game. She's got that potential. But I think that that's going to be the core there. Brooklyn Daly is going to have a bigger role as well. And so it's really going to be all hands on deck. And when I talked with Allison yesterday, she goes, she goes, the starting 5, that used to be kind of the mainstay, right? And a lot of people put focus on it. Not that she did, but just, kind of, I guess, the outside noise. She goes, it's going to be everyone. It's going to be everyone that, is going to play a critical role in our success this year. And I'm also excited to see, one of those young additions, Lexi Carlson. Her mom is on the staff. I've heard nothing but great things about her. She really likes the freshman class. Allison does. So, and Lexi, she led Northern Illinois in threes last year, played about 30 minutes per game. And you could tell that she is the daughter of a coach. I mean, she is just so well-grounded. When I talked to her over the summer, we have our, introductory, get to know the new dogs tour on our podcast. And she said, pressure is a privilege. And I'm like, okay, all right. I really, I can definitely, see where, her mom is a coach, and she just, she's just a gamer, and so that, along with the freshman class, I'm really excited to see how it's all going to gel together. That's what, this off season's been all about. But yeah, it's going to start with those seniors to, again, pick up the mantle that was left and just, carry that torch and hopefully lead to some success here this upcoming season.
Yeah, that's a great. I don't know if we want to call it a package deal, but essentially a package deal with Lexi and her mom. Lisa was the head coach at Northern Illinois, and then both coming to Des Moines. You get somebody with head coaching experience on the bench there for Coach Pullman, but then a young sophomore who shot 42% from 3 in the MAC.
Right.
You'll take that and run for the hills. Schedule wise, I am just the scheduling quandary on the men's side. I am always just blown away by the women's side. And not that it's not hard to get a schedule together, but the names you're able to get on your schedule and the names you're able to get to come to your building and the amount of Q1 and Q2 games you guys are going to have this year, but in your building to have Iowa State coming in and Creighton coming in and Minnesota coming in, unbelievable opportunities. And, we talk about trying to get multiple teams in on the men's side. Boy, the women are, they have such metrically friendly schedules that if they can take care of some business, might be able to do it. What a schedule that Allison Pullman's got together here.
Yeah, I mean, it may be a different looking team, but one thing that remains, a consistent thing is that they're not afraid to really challenge themselves and to go up against a variety of programs. And I mean, you look at not only who's at home, but playing in Nashville in the non-conference tournament, an SEC opponent in Arkansas, and so having to play at Iowa and it's so, but I told Allison, like, last year, it just seemed like a lot of games were on the road. I mean, you have marquee matchups at home, and she's like, yeah, we're really, really excited. Iowa State, whenever they've come to the Knapp Center, it seems like we've had a little bit of luck against them. And that, I guess, the last time they came into Des Moines, we were able to edge them. That was when Audie Crooks was a freshman, and now she's just becoming one of the best, forwards in all women's college basketball. And so Creighton, they go from a team that had 7 seniors a year ago to like completely different looking, but really good program out of the Big East. There's a lot of familiarity between those two. And then Minnesota, the defending WBIT champions, Don Plitzowite was the head coach at South Dakota. And she really took it to Drake, and Drake, there were some really good battles there during that time, but she's got a really, really good squad there in the Twin Cities, and not to mention the fact that Drake will have to play at St. Thomas. They're going to be unveiling a new arena up there, so it'll be exciting to see that, having to open at Eastern Illinois, a team that was undefeated at home last year, top defensive team in the Ohio Valley Conference. I mean, there are no easy nights whatsoever.
No.
It's gonna make for just a lot of fun, in that short stretch from November to December.
Last question. No preseason poll on the women's side yet that I have seen. I don't think it has come out yet. Where do you think Drake will end up in the preseason prognostications, and what do you think their ceiling is with sort of this new look bunch this year?
Yeah, Jeff, I think it's tough to say, where Drake is going to land. I mean, and really in the Valley, I mean, it's kind of hard to peg, who's going to be where, because there's been some change. I mean, I think Murray State, certainly with the additions that Coach Turner's been able to bring in, they're going to be, exceptionally. I mean, they're going to be right up there. Belmont, you talk about the schedule they have. Bart Brooks, I mean, my goodness, when I saw that schedule, man. But he's got a really, really good team. So I think that Drake, is a top 5 team. UNI is going to be really good. Illinois State, they're always up there. I mean, again, they say the Valley runs deep. It really will be this year, because I think it's just, again, it's up for grabs, and a lot of the senior scorers are, they're no longer here, and so now it's, you look at who's returning, and I mean, Murray State, to me, I think that they're probably going to be the favorite, but it's going to be just exciting to see how it unfolds. I told Allison, I'm like, I can't wait to see the conference schedule when it comes out, and I'm ready. I'm ready for Valley hoops, and just ready for tip off. Even though it's like 90 degrees here in Iowa, it doesn't feel like basketball weather. I mean, it's just been really unseasonably hot, but ready to go.
Hunter Phillips, the voice of the Drake women's basketball program. Thank you for the time this morning, and we will certainly catch up again very soon.
Appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you.